And listen to this. My first guest wears gloves in the shower, puts baggies over her feet at night, and it's something called a no below the elbow rule when she was dating. And would you believe now she makes as much as $10,000 for 4 hours work modeling her hands. Ellen Sirot, professional hand model. Welcome to The Big Idea.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to shake your hand, but no, it goes like this. We're not allowed to touch the hands.
No touching.
Okay. This is, I want to kind of set this up for everybody because this is a woman who spends her day, well, you pick it up. How do you make your living?
I make my living by taking care of my hands 24 hours a day. That means I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't take out the garbage, I don't scrub the bathtub, I don't chop the vegetables. I sit around and make sure my hands look absolutely beautiful so I'm ready to do any hand job at the drop of a hat.
The old Big Idea, I would have jumped all over that one, but we are a high pedigreed show right now. You basically are a top hand and foot model.
Yes, I am.
You get paid, as I said, for some of the advertisers, everything from American Express, AT&T, Bergdorf, Avon, Aramis, Visa. I can go on and on and on. I mean, you recently got paid $10 grand from a Verizon shoot for 4 hours to be a hand model.
Yes.
What is so damn great about it's very interesting. Before you came out, for everybody at home, you kind of took off your gloves and you did this seduction. I'm like, it's kind of like in the society, whatever's covered up is seductive. And I was like, whoa, look at those hands. Well, not even. We'll get back to that in a second.
Yeah.
Why do you have such great hands?
Well, I have perfect porcelain skin. I have beautiful, healthy nail beds. You can see the white of my nail and the pink of my nail. I have beautiful, well-behaved cuticles. I exude the healthy, happy mom look with my hands, and that's why advertisers really like to use me.
Now, everybody at home is sitting there going, okay, I can do this. I heard there's a bunch of wives elbowing their husbands. Honey, I have pretty hands. I can make 10 grand tomorrow. It's obviously not that easy. How'd you get into it?
Well, I got into it kind of a crazy way through a series of incidents that just brought me there. I was a dancer. I'd come to New York to be a dancer, and I was doing the struggling waitress dancer thing. And by fluke, I was cast in a TV commercial where I was a dancing ballerina. I thought, aha, commercials, they're the way to make money and support my dance habit. And I started getting headshots, and the photographer said, you know, you have great legs. Why don't you find out about parts modeling? And I had never heard of it. I didn't know anything about
Parts
it.
modeling, okay.
Parts modeling. He sent me over to an agent who represented parts models, and she said, your legs are great, your feet are perfect, which I never would have thought of. Yeah, they're covered. Okay. And start taking care of your hands. And so I said, okay. So she started sending me for feet. She started sending me for legs. The very first job I booked was this Dr. Scholl's foot thing for huge campaign. Started making $300 an hour instead of $3 an hour.
And you basically competed against 50 other feet.
50 other pair of feet.
And so you come in. I'm curious what happens in a foot audition. You come in.
Yeah.
You take your shoes off.
I got my very first pedicure.
Pedicure.
I took my shoes off. I lined my feet up, and they took some photographs.
And how many people were in the room?
Oh, there was the casting director.
So 8 people basically looking at your feet.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and are they commenting as you go and say, oh, nice
Yeah, they're saying, oh, she has the nice, you know, big toe, little toe all the way down, the nice sculptured foot, and she has a nice arch, and you can see her toenails, and we like this one. Give her a star. And so, yeah.
And
so
it
they
went from there. You realize you got the feet, you got the hands. You're going to make it big, kid. You got the feet, you got the hands.
Yeah.
Let's, for instance, interesting, one of the most famous kind of hand situations, the front of the movie poster in the book, my buddy Howard Stern's Private Parts.
Right.
Your hands.
My hands, right there.
Now, we're going to show that. Is that actually happening as we see it, or did they kind of superimpose your hands on that?
Oh, no, I was there. I was a very important part of covering, not, you know, his private parts, but I was covering the love handles.
The love handles.
That was my job.
How was it working with Howard?
Oh, he felt a little intimidated not having his clothes on.
Big shot, Howard, right? We love Howard here. Okay, Motorola ads. Here are your hands here. How much did you get paid for this?
Well, that was a good campaign, and I did a lot of them. I got paid a lot.
How much? How much?
I probably got paid about $10,000 for the day.
$10,000 for the day for pretty much going like, is this a great country? I could do that. Is this a great... No, I'm not minimizing because obviously you have beautiful hands. And how long did that take?
Took about 4 hours.
4 hours, 10 grand. Good gig. Dawn Direct, let's take a look at this. Now, how much, now, okay, ooh, now we got working hands.
Well, and I actually had to be in water, which you know I don't like to be in too much, so they paid me well for that one also.
Okay, before we go through more ads, let's go through your regimen of what you do before we reveal your hands later on. Is you wear 24 hours a day gloves.
Right, I wear gloves all the time.
You have 500 pairs of gloves.
I have lots and lots of gloves, and I change them many times through the day.
when you walk in Manhattan through the summer, you're wearing gloves, people go, crazy person?
Yeah, I'm wearing elbow-length gloves during the summer. People think I'm crazy, or they think I'm like a germaphobe, or, you know.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
You moisturize nearly 20 times a day.
At least 20 times a day, yep. I try to stay out of water. I don't do anything to build up the muscles in my hand, and I just really let them be as lethargic and not used as possible, because it photographs better to not have a muscle build up in your hand.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now this, you're working. You don't cook, you don't clean, you don't take out the garbage. You got a built-in, honey, I ain't doing anything.
Pretty much. It's
Pretty
a good
much.
deal.
And your husband lets you get away with that.
It's a good job
meal ticket.
description.
Why wouldn't he? Every guy you watch is going, I'm in. Honey, don't worry about it. You put lotion in your socks.
Yes, when I have jobs for my feet, I get a little extreme there, and so I moisturize like crazy. I put plastic bags on my feet, and then I put socks on top of that, and then I sleep with my feet elevated. So I'm not so much fun those nights.
So you basically, before you sleep, you put moisture, you bagerize, you elevate the feet. I love this. Before you were married in your dating days, you had the Ellen rule.
Yeah.
Which was?
No touching below the elbows.
Okay.
In fact, my husband never held my hand until our wedding night.
Okay, if we were out on a date and you kind of said this to me, I would say you're a crazy person. Now, how did you get through with all this? You didn't you and your husband did not hold hands until your wedding night.
That's correct.
Okay. Was it, along those lines, without getting too personal, was it hard to be intimate? Because you obviously, if you're very fussy about your hands, I mean.
Yeah, well, you know, you find ways, and there's lots you can do, and having the softest hands in the world adds a whole new dimension.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Let's go back to some of the ads. Avon, let's take a look at that. How much did you get paid for Avon?
Well, I work consistently.
Oh, this is a real beauty thing here. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at those. Now, I want you to brag about your hands and tell me why these are the hands that make $10,000 a day.
I mean, this is like my ultimate hand shop. This really shows what I'm good at, which is the healthy, natural hand. The nails aren't red or anything crazy, and it really shows a finely tuned hand, one where the skin is perfect, there's no marks, there's no scars, there's no sunspots. It's just a beautiful, luxurious, happy, healthy hand.
Okay, we're going to go to your feet, because my agency that I used to run was probably part of this Lamisil.
Right.
We were the guys, I'm sorry, folks, my agency, we've created a lot of brilliant ads. We also created the one with the little character that lifts up the toenail in there. So that's for the bad feet.
Yeah.
You're the good feet.
Yeah.
Here are your good feet.
This is really an industry standard, because it was the first time that they had a beautiful hand and a beautiful foot together. And I've known that there's been a lot of other ads that have knocked off this idea. But let's say that it's very hard to have your hands and feet look beautiful at the same time. I was lying on my back, using my abdominals like crazy, having to keep my hands and feet up in the air for a really long time, not shake, not move. I should get paid a lot.
All right, show me what you got. Here we go.
Ready?
I've been waiting, because honestly, I've been waiting for this.
You're very lucky.
You have a very seductive way about you. Okay, let's take a look. Everybody, here they are. America's most expensive hand. Ooh, how you doing?
You can touch them if you want.
Can I?
Yeah, gently.
Okay. I'll just touch them with my knuckle.
Okay, that's good.
They are beautiful. You know, it's fascinating, because you've obviously developed this over the years. You have a way of making these seductive, they're beautiful, but something about you is telling me they're even more beautiful than maybe they are.
Well, they're very graceful. And you know, it was the combination of having the hand care knowledge with the dance training that's really made me such a great hand model.
Now, are you holding your fingers a certain way for a while?
Well, I'm showing you them, but you know, I just have beautiful hands. And I know what to do with them.
This is a great country. This is a great country. Would it be too, I'm getting a little lost here. Would it be too forward for ask you to show me your feet? I know this is only our first date. You can't show the feet.
No.
How come?
Second date.
Second date. But your feet are as good as your hands.
They sure are.
You know, every freak out there in America right now is going to be writing in every foot fetish person, every hand. Because I guess any part of the body can be seductive and can be beautiful. And you're making big money off those hands.
I sure am.
Any advice to anybody out there who thinks they got what it takes, he says with a straight face?
Well, you have to put your best hand forward. You really have to find something you care about, and you have to be committed to it, give 300%, and, you know, if people laugh, you just laugh with them, but you move ahead with it.
And you laugh to the bank. Once again, an example, what a great country, a person making 10 grand a day off their hands. I love it. Ellen Sirot, professional hand model.